What's your assessment? Do you think we're getting closer to reaching a ceasefire agreement?
Certainly, there is an open window in the upcoming days as there are ongoing negotiations made in Washington between Netanyahu and Trump and between Netanyahu and Witkoff, the American envoy in the Middle East. And through meeting, along with the Qataris negotiation that went to the White House 2 days before, through which there was a very turning point, which is the withdrawal of the Israeli forces from Russian Philadelphia corridors, and there is some sort of acceptance by Israel to withdraw according to the timetable. There are indications that leading to a ceasefire or a truce of 60 days, and this matter will be announced upon Witkoff's arrival to Al-Doha during the upcoming 48 hours in order to put the final touches along with the Egyptian Qataris efforts in order to achieve a full ceasefire within 60 days. Provided the American guarantees and as well as no breach by Israel in order to address the final phases. Hence there is a possible approachment of the ceasefire during the upcoming 20 or 48 hours.
And how much pressure do you think Trump is putting on Netanyahu over these hours and days?
Absolutely. The effect of victory achieved by Trump in the decision of the Israeli-Iranian wars and through which calling upon Netanyahu to meet with him in Washington. According to the American report, Netanyahu, before leaving Washington, following the final meeting with Trump, in order to put the final touch of the agreement have been agreed upon regarding the ceasefire in Gaza, and there is an American agreement regarding a full ceasefire, as Netanyahu wishes to get some of the political gains regarding the political settlement in the Middle East, along with the Israeli ties with the Arab countries in the upcoming months and weeks. Hence, Trump pressuring Netanyahu by saying you have to put an end of the Gaza war in order to allow the delivery of the humanitarian aid, along with joining the Arab countries, specifically the Gulf countries, to join the Abraham Accord in reaching a peace agreement with Israel. So we found different rhetoric through Netanyahu's statement, and there is some sort of flexibility provided regarding a peaceful settlement, and therefore Trump had succeeded somehow in order to reach some sort of agreement in Gaza. That will be a new beginning of a new ground to the peace process. And this will be rely on the Arab side in order to have a desire of establishing a Palestinian state in order to move forward and toward a peaceful solution. And the ball now is in the court of Israel.
Well, of course, one of the worries is that Netanyahu is only seeking a partial deal, and that once he gets his detainees back, then perhaps he'll go straight back to the death and destruction as we have now.
Trump has succeeded to convince Netanyahu to halt the aggressions against Gaza. Netanyahu had achieved all of the Israeli gains by eliminating the first, second, and third ranks of Hamas. Israel is controlling 75% of Gaza Strip, played a great role in destruction of the militarily capabilities of the Palestinian factions. And some goals are to be achieved by retrieving the Israeli detainees. So Netanyahu's right now, following such victories, doesn't fear of the threats of the far right wing presided by Ben Gvir, as there is some sort of an opposition to get into in order to gain great gains in return of American political coverage of any upcoming military actions towards Iran. In addition, that such withdrawal, retrieving the bodies and detainees, that would guarantee an horizon of peaceful settlement in the Middle East through the normalization with the Arab countries. But the Gaza war was hindering to achieve such a goal. Therefore, he achieved militarily triumph with Iran and Gaza, and Trump hence will stay not only in the current government, but might lead to the upcoming government in October. And this is what it is the main focus of the unconditional withdrawal from Gaza.
And of course, you mentioned Ben Gvir there. Is Netanyahu facing a large amount of pressure from his own government that might make it difficult to agree to a ceasefire deal?
Ben Gvir's rhetoric aren't that affected within Israel. There are some variables took place through the Israeli war against Iran that changed the impact of Ben Gvir threats. Even if he goes out of the government, he has only 4 seats, and Netanyahu has the rest. So he is capable to enact to take a ruling to accept or to strike a deal. And therefore, Ben Gvir is in a very hard position. Ben Gvir will stay, and if he go out unaffected, the government and Netanyahu's presence in the U.S. will address in the upcoming deal with Hamas and to go out of Gaza through a timetable and certain peaceful approachment with the Arab countries as it is his main goal, and he's not paying too much attention with Ben Gvir's threat. And Netanyahu has provided a lot of success to Israel, and so that's why Trump wishes to drop the charges that are facing Netanyahu, and he might make a new coalition within Israel in return to preserve its interest and to give him a great opportunity to sustain Israel in order for the U.S. to provide him political coverage, thanks to the good ties with Israel and the United States.